Chi, Vietnam, Sunday, September 22nd, 1968. Well, I received your tape from home about 2 days ago, and I sent a little postcard ahead of this just to let you know that everything came in pretty good. I was very happy to receive it, and everything came out pretty good. The voices came out loud and clear, and the music came out pretty good, although some of the songs came out just a little tinny, but that's to be expected down here, because it is not a high-fidelity tape recorder. It doesn't pick up every single sound, but it will do, I'm sure. Certainly was good that we made that telephone call a few weeks ago. Even though you feel like saying over on this conversation over here, but it just won't work. The time over here is 8 o'clock at night, so that means back home it's 8 o'clock in the morning, Sunday, and everybody's just about getting up to go to church now. So actually, I may call you up. Say if I called you up now, it would be 8 o'clock in the morning. Or if I called you up at 12 o'clock, midnight here, it would be 12 o'clock midnight back home. So you could actually see that if I called you up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon here, I would get you at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to try and gauge it so that I can call you, say, early in my morning so that I will get you at night. I received the package with the sneakers and the books from you the same night that I received the 2 tapes. The sneakers fit perfectly, and they're the exact color that I wanted them in, because the white would have gotten that dirty look very quickly over here. Package came in good condition. As far as money orders go, I'll probably send about $100 home a month for the next month or two, and then I'll start putting a little bit of money on the side for R&R. I hope maybe to go to Japan or Hong Kong, one or the other. It all depends which opening, where there are openings for me to go on. I can see that Daddy's very happy that the Mets seem to be doing at least half decently compared to the other previous years, and that I do hope that they pass up Houston or L.A. and do not wind up in the basement again this year. And like Daddy said, I was really shocked to receive his letter in the mail a few weeks ago, too. I was very happy to receive the tape with the music on there, and you can tell that this isn't heaven here because the guys have beer. I'm sure happy that Miriam received a raise in her pay. As always, a morale booster, no matter how little or how much it is. I'm sure that she enjoys being the switchboard operator down there, because I know the switchboard operator down at Hal Richardson Scale had quite a bit of free time, and she usually had a book there in which she read in the free time, and said that she enjoyed it. She was a very nice person. I don't really think that the job is that boring. After that, she enjoyed the birthday card. Over here, they have birthday cards, but most of them, couldn't find any for sister. There were cards for brother, cards for mother and father, aunt, uncle, niece, nephew, and so on down the line, but one for her sister was almost impossible to find. So I decided I'll make my own, and I'm glad she liked it. I was happy to hear Anime's voice also, and I'll comment on one of her letters in a little while. But at the present time, I'll say that I can only tape on these 3-inch reels. The tape recorder is a little bit small, being a compact type. It can only take 3 inches and not the 5-inch reel. what can I say? That's the way it is. I hope your tea come in nice, your Zubers, and that you really don't sound bad over the tape recorder. Uh, I guess everybody knows how important it is to have good teeth, even if they are artificial teeth. I guess it's really kind of hard to eat with them. As far as letter writing goes, you don't have to worry too much about that, because now that I have the tape, I can just play that back and forth, and listen to it. And I personally enjoy it. I think it's a little bit more personal, and I think you feel that way too. I would appreciate it, though, if you keep sending the football scores and baseball scores. These are the baseball scores we do get. We get a couple of days late here too, but the Clifton High School football scores I know I won't get over here at all. So I am looking forward to them in the near future. Being September 22nd, I imagine Clifton should have its first game by next week. It was also nice to hear Roman's voice over the tape, and I just hope that he doesn't become too willing to do the jobs around the house like my mother said he does, because when I come home, it will be a hard thing for me to fill in once again. I was very happy to receive the sneakers from Bobby, and it was very nice to send them to me. I'm wearing them right now along with the shorts, and it feels good at least to dress like a civilian while you're over here. I kind of hope that the next tape I receive will have Junior and Bobby's voice on here too, and maybe Marsha's and Frank's, and maybe Marcy saying a few words in addition, and maybe Ricky, Scotty, and Richie and Dolores saying a few words too. You, like I said, I asked you to ask me a few questions over the tape, and you asked me how the food is over here. Well, that's kind of hard, not too hard of a question to answer. The food is not as good as it would be stateside, but I think the cooks do an adequate job over here with what they've got. Usually the breakfasts consist of 2 eggs, 2 pieces of toast if you want it, and milk and juice, and sometimes pancakes too. It's not too bad for breakfast, although sometimes you get sick of eggs or things like that. But sometimes they have oatmeal too, which I enjoy eating every once in a while. Lunch and supper meals are also hot. Sometimes they try and keep them warm, but sometimes they just can't. For the main course, sometimes we have chicken. Once in a while, we'll have turkey rolls, meatloaf, hamburgers. Twice we had steak. Occasionally, we'll have some Vietnamese corn, carrots and peas and celery. It's not as good as it is over here. The celery, most of the vegetables are all grown in Vietnam, and the way some of these apples taste too, it seems like they've been grown in Vietnam too. The bananas, I know are grown in Vietnam because they are very green, and incidentally, we have a banana tree growing outside our orderly room over here, and the tree is a young one, and it's actually falling over because of the weight that's out there. For drinks, breakfast we usually have milk, and sometimes for lunch. And lunch and supper time, we have Kool-Aid or iced tea, and there is plenty of ice down here. We also, ice cream is another thing that we have almost every other day, and lately they have been giving us quite a good helping of ice cream, which I certainly enjoy. That's one of the things that I miss from back in the States. I used to love to go for ice cream down at the Dairy Queen, but next summer I guess I'll be doing it all over again, going down to the Dairy Queen and getting ice cream. The meat here, except for the turkey and the chicken, all the meats seem to be the same. Anything that consists of chopped meat, I don't know. They must use the same recipe for every meal. It seems like, at least. The chopped meat in the hamburgers tastes the same as chopped meat in the meatloaf, and if you get some big hunks of meat in your spaghetti, it's not too bad. Their spaghetti here, surprisingly, is not bad. That's one of their best meals here. Their chicken isn't too bad. They bread it too much, and I can't stand it breaded. But they don't feed you exactly that much, but it's enough for most guys, and I usually fill up on the fruits and vegetables. They let you take all you want from there, so I do take all I want. Sometimes they have pears or peaches, canned pears or peaches, and I eat all I can out of that, because you know how I love fruit, canned fruit. And sometimes their Jell-O isn't too bad. Sometimes they put fruits and vegetables, fruits in it, but when they put the vegetables in it, I don't particularly care for it. I don't know, carrots and celery and lettuce in your Jell-O doesn't just jive with my appetite. I don't know what it is, but that's the way the Army is. They seem to louse up everything. As far as losing weight, one of my friends over here that I came into Coochie with went away to one of our field sites, and when he was gone for 30 days, and when he came back, he said, "Boy, you know, you lost a little weight." I certainly don't feel like I lost weight, but maybe I did. I'm eating pretty good, and if I get hungry at night, I usually go down to the beer hall and buy a hamburger or two. And that keeps me full. We usually have lately we've been having all the soda we can drink or we can buy. So Kool-Aid has gone almost to a standstill. Right now we have Pepsi Cola and Canada's Dry Ginger Ale. The Pepsi's good, but the ginger ale, leaves a little bit to be desired. You asked me a question about how can I survive with just one pair of Bermuda shorts here. Well, actually, I don't get a chance to put on civilian clothes, or I don't put on civilian clothes every night. It's only when I decide I want to go for hamburgers or something. Then I put them on. And when they get dirty, I'll just give Mom and Son a quarter to wash them. So take them in the morning. In the afternoon, I'll have them back clean and dried, and it'll only cost me a quarter. So actually, I don't think this pair is going to wear out because I only wear them at night, and I don't go playing basketball or baseball or anything. I don't do any running in them, so I don't think they will really wear. And I will notify you if they do. So don't worry about that too much. Just as long as I got sneakers and shorts, and I bought a shirt here that fits me pretty good, and it's not too bad. That old my Agnes was really something to hear that story with the way Dolores tells it, and she consistently laughs through the whole time that she is telling it. That actually makes it funny too. Especially the part where she says that they're on the porch and they both can't say anything except "Oh my Agnes," and I'm thinking I'm open. That can drive anybody nuts just hearing that. And also about Ricky and Scotty breaking out of those, Scotty not being able to break out of those paper bag costumes that he made. I couldn't believe my ears, and I had to replay that back when I heard it. Poor Scotty, it seems like he's always getting some kind of predicament that he can't get himself out of. I enjoyed you singing the Rock of Ages at the end. Actually, you can't really judge these tape recorders, how much time you have to talk on them, and sometimes you can see, notice that I get cut off at the end too, and I try and pick it up on the reverse side if I possibly can. That Rock of Ages was really nice, and I enjoyed it. I really didn't expect it at the end there, and it fit just perfect on there too. I keep playing it back and forth every once in a while. Now referring to the letter that Anime sent me, the postmark on it is September 15th, so let's see, she sent a few pictures in here too. One of baby Marlene sucking her toes, and it seems like she looks a little bit like Leslie in these pictures. That one of Marlene biting her toes was really a cute one. I don't know. She would have sent that into a photo club. She might get a winner on that. The pictures did come out pretty clear, except for that one taken on the dock. I don't know, maybe it was the brightness of the reflection of the lake or something out there that didn't come out too clear, but you can pick out the people who are out there. And it seems like, I don't know, it seems like the lake looks a little bit low again this year from that picture. Let's see, here's one of baby Marlene sitting on a blanket. And I can still see the corn up in Anime's garden, and the houses in the background really remind me a heck of a lot of home. Well, it looks like our church rectory is really coming along nice now. That cross in the middle up just above the doorway there really makes it look kind of churchish, if there's such a word. And it looks like, I can't see too well, but it looks like there's two garages on the side, I believe Daddy said we were going to have. And it seems like they are going to have plenty of room for themselves and their guests whenever they come. I'm sure that they will be very happy with it, and the people of the parish are happy with it. Incidentally, I think there is a wall in front of it now. I don't remember that being there before. Did they just put in a brick wall in front of it to level out the area? That's one of the questions that I've got on the tape here. Well, I can see that we're running out of tape on this side too, so I'll continue on the next. Side 2, I hope on the next tape you become a little bit more at ease, like you said you will be. I too am learning how to talk on the tape just a little bit better. One-way conversation is just a little bit harder than usual. Well, I guess I'm going to comment on a few of the letters that I received in the mail these past couple of days. I'll start off with the one from Anime. The tape recorders here do sell very quickly, and I was just fortunate enough to be down there one day when they just got a brand new supply in. Incidentally, I let one of the sergeants down here use the tape back and forth. He sends it to his wife in Texas, and he says his son really can't read the letters because he's only 7 years old, but he thinks he would get a good kick out of listening to the voice. So I said certainly, and I will let anybody else here who wants to send a tape home to do so. All they have to do is just say they want to do it. So he took me up on the suggestion, and he should be getting a tape back from his wife in another week or so. Like me, he is looking forward to his first tape too. This tape does come equipped with an earphone, but that's an accessory. I'm going to buy one Tuesday. One of the sergeants here is going to PX, and he said he'll do me a favor and pick it up when he goes. We'll have to see that you're going with the Holy Name Society to go see the Army California University game in West Point. Like I said in the previous tape, I never went there, and I went to a college football game except for Montclair, and that's one thing I would like to go to too. There's another or a bigger university or college game. We'll have to hear that the church picnic was a huge success. They must have made quite a bit of money there, and I'm sure that the church was happy to do so. They can do it, putting up the new rectory. I imagine they must have a little bit of a debt to pay. Daddy would be able to answer that question just a little bit more than anybody else in the family. like I said, next year I hope I'm there so that I can see my friends and have a good time there myself. I can see that Anime attached the new Walt Disney stamp on there. I hope that if she did get a sheet of them, that she saves the plate block for me. The area with the four numbers in the with numbers in the corner and the four stamps, either for me or for Lester. I don't care. I just don't want to see them go to waste. That stamp certainly is a nice one, and you can bet your life that I'm going to rip them off and save them. I got another letter from Joanne Jacob, and it seems like everything is going well by her. She told me that she had a rough time teaching in the beginning. She was a little bit nervous and excited, but now that she's calmed down, it's a lot easier, and she enjoys it. She also sent me her graduation picture. She says, maybe your friends will be impressed about this, see if any of them want to write. She says she likes to write to guys in the Army. And let's see. She claims that this is the end of her end of the summer, and that she will not be going on a seashore anymore, and that she's going to miss it, and she can't wait again for next summer. And she said that she hasn't been able to get to any Met games anymore this year, and she hopes the next year she'll be able to get to a few more. I also got a letter here from Richard Huth, my good friend, and he writes that he recently got his draft card notice 2 days after he graduated from X-ray technician school, and he is now 1A. And I told him that I expect him to be in the Army in December, and he's a little bit mad. He doesn't particularly care for my little comment. And he says that he is keeping up the stamp collection for me, and that he still didn't get his other car back, but he is that he didn't get his Chevy back yet, and that his other Ford broke down, and he got it repaired. Yeah, I'm telling him all about you, Smith. I'll tell him all about you. I was just talking to one of the guys over here that's giving me a hard time while I'm making this tape recording. Let's see. The guy, Al Jerkowitz, that I used to write to, that was in Vietnam, that I graduated with, he is going to school somewhere now in Maryland, and he is playing soccer, and I hope he does good there. My buddy, Severin Pavlovich, helped him get in there, so I understand. Good old Sev will do it every time. His brother, Joey, is going to AIT somewhere in California. I don't know exactly what he's doing. In the tape you mentioned about going to college. Mrs. Huth here is going to Clifton Night School to take up typing. And Ricky said that he almost passed out when he found out who the teacher was, that it was Hank Dougherty, and that's the one teacher that me, Bobby, and Marianne had, or know, from high school, and I had a good laugh, and I read about that. And he also writes now that he graduated school. He's thinking of what he's going to be doing in the future. And since he got that 1A, he claims he's going to go into the Army willingly for 2 years, even though he doesn't want to go. And he did some talking with his mother now that his father died about a half a year ago, and he is seriously thinking of going to be a teacher. He doesn't say what kind he wants to be in his paper, in his letters, so I'll probably inform you about that next time I talk to you. But like everything else, time will only tell when he will finally wind up being. I also asked him if he would be going to any football games this year down at Clifton High School Stadium. He used to work at the gas station on Lakeview Avenue and pumping gas on Saturday, so he couldn't make it to most of the games last year or the year before. But this year, now that he's working as an X-ray technician down at the hospital, so I understand, it seems that he has a little bit more money now, that he was dropping the extra job on Saturdays. because he wants to have a little bit more free time on the weekends, and so he gave up the job. And the next day after he gave up the job, the gas station was held up. Now, Marianne knows little Tim Kyle. He was the one that was held up, and from what it says here, two men came in with a knife and robbed him. And luckily it wasn't her, and I guess now, after he thinks about it, it would seem a little bit funny, even though from what Richie writes, he was a little bit shaken up about it. I also received a letter from that girl Diane Broda in the mail today. She is going to go to Florida in a few days, and she said she'll just drop this line now to me, and that she'll send me a little postcard or so from Florida. Isn't that nice of her? She also sent a closure of her uncle, who just happens to be president of Huth Scale Company, the biggest scale company in the United States. And that was a little interesting article about what's going on back at Howard Richardson Scale. She also said that she went to New York City and she saw Holiday on Ice in the new Madison Square Garden. And she said it was very interesting. They got a cut rate from Hoffman LaRoche where she works. I imagine she's a secretary over there. And she said she enjoyed it very much. She also comments on the conversation with my parents and so on and so on. And that's about all she really has to say in her little letter. Also today, I went down to pick up the mail, and I was surprised to see a package in there for me. I wasn't expecting any package from you back home, so I just couldn't wait till I saw who the return address was from. And I looked, and I saw it was from Uncle Joe and Aunt Millie. I was really surprised to see it was from them, and I was wondering what was in it. It wound up that they sent me a canned salami, a little thing of Swiss cheese, you know, that round thing that has the little triangles of cheese in it. She and he sent me that. Also, some Polish sausage, which I really do enjoy. I hope the next time you send a package to me, you would have quite a few of the 4 or 5 packs of those things, because I enjoy nibbling on one every once in a while. Also, if you do send me a package, send me some liquid straps, because they seem to last pretty long here too, and they seem to make the trip pretty good. But I was very happy and thankful to Aunt Millie and Uncle Joe for sending me the package, and it came as a very pleasant and unexpected surprise. That's one thing over here in Vietnam. When the mail comes in, you really don't know what to expect. Sometimes you don't get any mail, sometimes you get 5 letters, sometimes you get 1 letter. And it's really something. Now I'm looking forward to tapes. That's my big aim over here. And I hope to receive one from back home at least once a week. Well, today was Sunday, and we only worked a half a day. I really didn't do nothing. All I did was fill up a couple of gas tanks with gasoline, and 1 oil tank with oil can with oil. They let me out about a half hour earlier than everybody else, so not only me, but about 5 other guys too, so that they can go to 11 to 15 Mass over here. And we had the afternoon off. Afternoon, I didn't do anything but sit around and talk with the guys. And this evening, I wrote a letter to Joanne, and I decided to sit down and make this tape to you like I promised in the last tape that I made. I'm glad to hear in the other tape that that my voice came out very good on Anime's tape recorder too. I too had my fingers crossed, hoping that it would come out good too. The weeks seem to be going by pretty quick, and I'm almost here for 3 months now. Joe Frankovic writes that he was in Korea for almost 5. So I guess I just hope that time flies by quickly, and I'm at the 1/4 mark. And I just hope it continues to fly by quickly. We got a new general, like I said in the other letter too. Now this guy is really going ridiculously overboard. He not only wants the guys to have haircuts like in basic training, but he also demands that our boots be polished when we leave the battalion area, and also that we wear clean fatigues. It's kind of hard to keep your boots in half decent shape over here because when it rains, and it's been raining quite often lately over here, your boots get muddy and they just lose their polish right away. And working in the motor pool as I do now, it's kind of rough to keep your fatigues clean, and you just putting on a clean pair of fatigues every day just so that the general will feel happy is ridiculous. And everybody feels that way. Even the lifers or the men that are in the Army long even feel that this general is going a little bit too far under certain conditions that we have over here. Actually, one of the guys says makes a lot of sense. He says they're pushing us like in a wartime condition. We're working 7 days a week, and yet they want us to be stateside. If he wants us to be stateside, why not? Can we have Saturday and Sunday off? And this makes a lot of sense too. The general should have enough sense in him to know this, that take into consideration the extra things that we have to take over here and the hardship compared to the other guys in the other parts of the world that are in the Army. They're more lucky guys, although I really can't complain because the infantry out in the field really carries the bulk of it all, and I thank God every night that I'm not in there, and I pray for those guys. Pray for those guys out there too. Like tonight, or during Mass this morning, the Mass was started because the chaplain had to go down the block to the emergency room. Evidently, a Catholic soldier was just on the verge of death there. So it really makes you stop and think that there is a war going on out here, even though they are trying to push us like we're a bunch of basic trainees again. A lot of the guys over here have been receiving letters that Huth has been hit very hard. Now, this is not the postage Huth. It must be the city just outside Huth that's been getting hard. Actually, if it weren't for the distant bombs going off, and in the nighttime the flares going off, you really wouldn't even know that a war is going on here. And most of the guys here are starting to get relaxed. So lately they've been calling these drills to make sure that these alert drills, the practice drills, to make sure that we know where to go into our bunkers and everything like that. It's a pain in the neck, but it's a necessary evil, and most of the guys agree with that, and they go along with it as well. Well, it looks like I'm running out of tape now, and I'd like to say once again, and it was very good to hear your voices, and may God bless you and keep you all, and I hope to hear from you soon, either by letter, preferably by tape in the near future. And I'm thinking, I'm open, and oh my Agnes. And that's about it for now. Until next time, I guess I'll try and make another tape Thursday or Friday, at least before Sunday again. Try and send every 4 or 5 days if I can. Well, this tape is taking longer to run out than I expected, so I guess I'll just ramble on here just saying nothing, really. Maybe you can hear some music, some of the guys talking in the background. Before, some of them were giving me a hard time, but they're really not too bad over here.